Welcome back, babes. We love you all. And babes, by the time you hear this, it'll most likely be the weekend. So, babes, we hope you all have an amazing weekend.
And if it turns into a messy weekend, babes, slide into our DMs because we absolutely want the tea.
Oh, we desperately want the tea. Because, speaking of messy, I have been physically unwell for like 3 days just thinking about what we have to talk about today.
Honestly, same. My jaw is still on the floor.
Right. Like, have you ever just watched someone's entire life aggressively fall apart and wondered if they, manifested it? Because today, the Snark Squad is unpacking an episode that is honestly a masterclass in psychological warfare.
It really is. It's just nonstop chaos.
I am talking about matching shark tattoos explicitly designed to ice out a mother. And oh my gosh, secret beach wedding venue changes being billed to the exact person you are actively hiding it from.
The financial audacity of that is just staggering to me.
Staggering. And then, a bachelorette party bus stripper poll that literally defies multiple medical advisories. Plus, a terrifyingly real car wreck, like a total car-totaling wreck that just triggers a profound emotional crisis.
Yeah, beneath all that surface-level chaos, the overarching theme is really just this terrifying illusion of control. Like, everyone thinks they are the mastermind,
Totally.
but everyone is simultaneously crashing the car. But before we get to the clinical breakdown of this family's total refusal to process their own reality, we actually have to acknowledge a celestial event.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Somehow the YouTube gods have blessed the Snark Squad with another early episode drop.
I screamed, literally, babes, on it. We must have been okay people in a past life or something.
We really must have.
I saw the notification on my lock screen and I threw my phone onto the couch. We need to dramatically thank the gods, the chaos, the universe, and obviously the Snark Squad for manifesting this upload.
It is a very specific, undeniable thrill, isn't it? Like, you can have a perfectly optimized evening planned.
Oh, complete.
You've meal prepped, you have a rigid skincare routine lined up, maybe some light reading, and the second that early upload notification hits, the entire schedule is just violently rearranged.
The laundry, it can rot in the machine. The dishes are completely irrelevant.
Gone.
I immediately opened my delivery app, ordered an aggressive, borderline offensive amount of spicy Thai food, and ignored every single adult responsibility I had.
As you should. The concept of a productive evening just dissolves into the ether.
TLC-level chaos is calling, and I am picking up the phone on the first ring. There is just no better feeling than being personally chosen by the reality TV gods to witness the mess before the rest of the world.
It genuinely alters your brain chemistry. You are suddenly just hyper-focused on Southern Gothic family trauma.
It's an obsession.
But, sitting there, watching this cast absolutely spiral into the abyss, it actually brought up a serious philosophical question for me. Okay, babes, do we actually believe in karma?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I am a firm, deeply entrenched believer that emotional energy always comes back around. It has to.
I don't know it does.
No, I mean, if you put out toxic, messy reality TV energy into the universe is going to serve it right back to you on a silver platter. You cannot treat people like garbage and expect peace.
But I take a much more skeptical approach to this because the empirical data of reality television directly contradicts the concept of karma. Do bad people actually face consequences?
I mean, eventually.
Or do they just get reality TV spin-offs? Let's look at the mechanics of it. You act horribly, you betray your blood relatives, you cause irreparable psychological damage. In a karmic universe, you would be struck down.
Right, struck down by lightning.
But in our universe, a producer from Los Angeles just hands you a contract for 3 more scenes and, a teeth-whitening brand deal. Is reality TV actual proof that karma is real? Or is it proof that karma is broken?
Wait, that is such a dark and depressing point. Because you're right, sometimes it feels like the messier they get, the bigger their house gets.
Exactly. Bad behavior is literally the currency.
But no, I have to push back on that. I have to believe the emotional toll is the karma. Yeah, you have a spin-off in a nice kitchen island, but your group chat hates you.
That's true.
Your family is secretly plotting against you with matching tattoos, and you can't trust anyone in your life. That profound loneliness, that is emotional karma.
That's a fair counter-argument.
Yeah.
The psychological isolation is the tax they pay for the financial reward. But speaking of questionable things, let's talk about the absolute monstrosity of a beverage you forced me to consume before we hit record.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Snark Squad knows we have been heavily experimenting with the Ninja Slush machine again.
Heavily is the word.
I have officially achieved cocktail chemist perfection. Are you ready for this ingredient list? Mango puree, strawberry syrup, Sprite, a very generous pour of rum, and orange juice. And babes, this is vibe.
I have to admit, when you first texted me that list, I was highly skeptical. Mixing Sprite, OJ, rum, mango, and strawberry sounds like a gastrointestinal disaster.
It sounds chaotic.
It sounds like what an unsupervised 10-year-old creates at a Golden Corral soda fountain. I fully expected it to taste like battery acid and regret.
But you liked it.
I did. I took a sip on Mike right before we started, and I am fully converted. The citric acid of the orange juice actually perfectly cuts through the heavy syrups. You accidentally engineered a masterpiece.
Right. It is a tropical vacation in a plastic cup. We are officially amateur cocktail chemists for the summer.
We really are.
And honestly, if podcasting about reality TV and practicing dentistry don't work out for us, we are taking this recipe and opening a beachside slushy bar.
Well, speaking of our very weird dual lives as reality TV podcasters who also happen to be dentists, we've been getting quite a few DMs from the Snark squad asking about our backstory.
Yes, they want the tea on us.
They want to know what our lives were actually like before we went to dental school. So, babes, let's talk about it.
Because sometimes I wake up and feel like I have lived like 4 completely different past lives. Like, who were we even in our 20s?
I'll start because mine is a textbook case of corporate despair. Before I was looking at molars and cavities, I was fully embedded in the corporate tech world. I was a software engineer at Amazon.
Gasps. The tech bro era. I am so obsessed with this visual. Give us the trauma.
It was an era of pure, unadulterated burnout masked as innovation. The corporate tech culture is everything you think it is, but significantly more exhausting.
I can't even imagine.
The sheer volume of meetings that could have been emails is a statistical anomaly. Imagine sitting in a freezing conference room with 12 guys wearing matching fleece vests and all-birds shoes.
Not the fleece vests.
Yes, aggressively debating the optimization of a single checkout button color for 3 consecutive hours. They would survive entirely on Soylent meal replacement drinks and triple-shot espressos.
That is so dark.
They'd openly boast about only sleeping 4 hours a night like it was a badge of honor, using words like bandwidth and circling back.
I realized one day I was slowly losing my connection to humanity. The pivot to dental school was literally a desperate bid to interact with the physical world again.
I am screaming the absolute lack of human connection. Well, my past life was equally unhinged, but in a completely different, like, neon-lit font.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Before dentistry, I had a job that was technically corporate, but my actual title was Corporate Event Coordinator for a massive chain of mall bartenders.
Ah, yes, mall bartenders, a demographic that is notoriously stable and incredibly easy to manage in a corporate structure.
Oh, completely. It was pure, unregulated chaos every single shift. My job description on paper was organizing promotional events. What I actually was, in practice, was an unlicensed accountant and a crisis therapist.
A therapist to 50 different 20-something bartenders. Exactly, who worked adjacent to a food court. I would literally be sitting in a cramped, fluorescent-lit back office holding a sobbing 22-year-old because someone stole $20 from her tip jar.
Tragedy strikes the food court.
And her boyfriend just dumped her next to the Auntie Anne's pretzels. And then like 5 minutes later, I'd have to grab a ring light and film these ridiculous TikTok videos for frozen margaritas with that exact same bartender. It was emotional whiplash.
The transition from managing the emotional crises of 22-year-olds at a mall bar to managing the dental hygiene of the general public is quite a leap.
It really is.
But it highlights how bizarre adulthood actually is. You just sort of stumble through these bizarre eras. Babes, honestly, if you told younger me I'd become a dentist and podcast about Mama June, I would have blacked out.
And yet here we are thriving. We survived the tech bros, we survived the mall bars, and now we are living our absolute best lives, drinking mango rum slushies.
Exactly. Which brings us to the main event. We need to get into the absolute wreckage that is Season 8, Episode 9.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Let's set the stage, because the fandom is currently spiraling out of control, and we need to address the massive elephant in the room. Before we even touch the sequential plot, I need to bring up the massive debate tearing through the Reddit forums right now.
The Reddit tea is scalding right now.
It really is. Did Justin actually like June?
Ooh. The tea. The Snark squad has been pulling out magnifying glasses to analyze their body language.
Let's break down Justin's behavior objectively.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the raw footage, he constantly positions himself as the mature, Wise, emotionally regulated patriarch.
Always so annoying.
He is invariably taking the opposite side of whatever June is arguing, purely to establish the moral high ground for the cameras. He lectures her constantly, but the hypocrisy is staggering.
It's beyond staggering.
He acts like the Zen master life coach, but this is a man who didn't see his own kids for years,
Yeah.
yet he sits there in his confessionals playing the absolute saint.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I get so frustrated watching it because there is zero romantic chemistry. None. The romantic tension is literally in the negative numbers.
It really is.
The fandom noticed something so sad but incredibly true. The only guy who ever seemed genuinely physically affectionate with June was Sugar Bear.
Which, objectively speaking, is a terrifying baseline for romance. When Sugar Bear is the gold standard for your romantic history, the bar isn't just on the floor, it's buried in the Earth's crust.
It's tragic. The fans are fully leaning into this Grishter conspiracy theory. People are calling him a caregiver, a glorified babysitter who is just sticking around for the money.
Just securing his bag.
They pointed out that she literally bought his new choppers, his brand new set of teeth, and he's always wearing all these gaudy chains. One commenter literally called them Temu teeth and Sheen chains, and I absolutely lost my mind.
That is devastating. The Sheen Chains comment is a critical hit.
I fell to my knees in my living room.
But it raises a legitimate question. Is he a husband, or is he just a life coach securing his bag? Because the dynamic is entirely transactional. She gets her little yes man who follows her around, and he gets financial security and heavily discounted jewelry.
It's a pure transaction. He's just driving her around in her car, correcting her grammar on TikTok Live, and cashing the production checks. It's so dark.
It is dark. But as dark as that faux marriage is, it is nothing compared to the absolute visceral terror of the Colorado wreck.
We have to talk about Alana's car wreck. I was holding my breath.
This was genuinely alarming to watch. Alana is hit on the driver's side by a speeding car. The impact was so forceful that it literally bent the inside structural column of the vehicle.
The physics of that impact are terrifying. Her glasses were violently knocked off her face.
And her heavy hydro cup flew entirely across the vehicle. And it's a brand new car she just bought 2 months ago, and it is instantly totaled.
When she said she might have blacked out for a slick minute and just remembered hearing a scream, my heart sank. She is so incredibly lucky to have walked away from that mangled
I
metal.
think she really is. But the immediate aftermath is what sent us into a spiral.
June actually gets the phone call, and she drops everything. She drops the petty wedding drama with Jessica, she drops the packing, and she flies 23 hours to Denver, Colorado to be by Alana's side.
Which brings us to a very complex, deeply uncomfortable psychological dynamic.
I have to get real with the Snark squad for a second. Babes, are we trauma bonded to Honey Boo Boo?
It feels like it.
Because watching this scene, like, both of us have openly talked on this podcast about having narcissistic mothers. We know this specific flavor of chaos. And watching this hospital bed scene was an absolute mind trip.
It is the ultimate display of cognitive dissonance. It's textbook intermittent reinforcement.
Explain that to the listeners who might not know the term, because it perfectly describes what is happening here.
Intermittent reinforcement is a psychological concept where a reward is delivered irregularly. In a toxic family dynamic, you have a parent who is normally selfish or absent. But every once in a while, usually during a massive crisis, they swoop in and act like the perfect parent.
And it messes with your head so much.
Because it's so rare, that hit of actual parental care is intoxicating.
Yeah.
It bonds you to them even tighter because it proves they are capable of being a good parent. They just usually choose not to be.
Yes. Because when you grow up with a toxic parent, you spend your entire adult life building up these massive emotional walls. You hold on to the very valid resentment of their past betrayals.
And missing $30,000 college funds.
Exactly. That is not a small, oops, I forgot your birthday betrayal. That is life-altering theft of your child's future. But then you get into a traumatic accident, and suddenly your toxic mother does the exact right thing.
And it completely short-circuits your brain's defense mechanisms. Because logically, you know who they are. But in that specific moment of trauma, you just want your mother to hold you.
You're sitting there with emotional whiplash like, wait, am I allowed to be mad at you anymore? You saved the day today, but you ruined the last 5 years of my life? Does this cancel out?
It's so heavy to carry.
You could see that exact conflict playing out in real time on Alana's face. It breaks my heart because the bar for parental support is so low, it's subterranean.
Well, while June is busy playing Florence Nightingale out in Denver, earning her rare parenting points. The rest of the family in the South uses her absence to execute a highly coordinated coup.
Oh, the sneaky sisterhood. I was pacing in my living room, screaming at my television. Jessica, Cheyenne, and Trina form this messy, chaotic, deeply petty alliance the second June's plane takes off.
It starts, as all great reality TV alliances do, at a local tattoo parlor. They decide to solidify their new family bond by getting matching tattoos.
I was dying during the scene.
Now, I want to apply some serious logical scrutiny to their design choices here. They choose to get the word ohana because, as they profoundly state to the camera, ohana means family. Groundbreaking.
And they pair it with a shark.
Yes, a shark. Because a shark is a protector that just keeps swimming.
A shark. Babes. I cannot handle the cringe. And the poor tattoo artist is standing there literally asking them, wait, are you getting the words too? Like the actual word ohana next to the shark.
Even the artist knew it was an aesthetic disaster.
But the shade of it all. They're getting a family tattoo to welcome Cheyenne and Trina, and they deliberately wait to do it until the mother of the bride is thousands of miles away dealing with a medical emergency.
The passive aggression is operating at a geopolitical level. It's a strategic embargo. But the tattoo is just the appetizer of this betrayal. The main course is the venue bait and switch.
The ultimate financial audacity. Listen to this setup. June, using her own money, rents this massive, beautiful vacation house in Florida to host the wedding.
A very expensive house.
It has a pool, it's gorgeous, but it has steps. Jessica, Cheyenne, and Trina look at this free, fully funded mansion, and they decide the aesthetics simply doesn't work for them.
The entitlement is wild.
So Jessica goes straight to the wedding planner, Miss Edie, and changes the entire wedding to a beach venue, behind June's back.
Let's break down the mechanics here. Does Jessica actually think she can pull off a secret beach wedding without the person funding it noticing?
Absolutely not.
And let's point out June's reaction when she finds out. Her first response is, holy shit, how much extra is that? Which is the correct question. Who is paying for this impromptu beach permit?
June is.
June is paying Miss Edie for the sudden logistical nightmare of moving a catered event to public sand.
It is wild. If someone is bankrolling your entire wedding, you do not secretly move the production to the beach. And the way Jessica is just nodding and smiling, totally unbothered, the utter disrespect.
But Jessica's staggering lack of empathy isn't just directed at her mother's bank account. We really need to unpack Pumpkin's arc in this episode.
Oh, poor Pumpkin.
Because she is quietly spiraling into a deep, resentful abyss.
She is so incredibly annoyed. In every single one of her confessionals, she looks like she is 5 seconds away from walking directly into the ocean. She is suffering from eldest daughter syndrome to the extreme.
She is always the one left to fix it all. June just dumped Caitlin, on Pumpkin so she could run off to Colorado.
June literally delegated her motherly duties like a CEO and just dipped.
Pumpkin's frustration is entirely justified. She is the designated shock absorber for this family's dysfunction. But the true source of her anger in this episode isn't June's delegation. It's Jessica's unbelievably chaotic decision to ask Josh,
Pumpkin's ex-husband.
yes, to officiate the wedding.
I went off. I was yelling at the screen. How on God's green earth do you ask your sister's ex-husband to officiate your wedding?
This is where I struggle to understand Jessica's internal logic. Is she doing this purely to spite June? Or does Jessica simply lack any foundational empathy for her own sister?
It has to be both.
Because asking your sister to be the maid of honor, while her very recent ex-husband is officiating the ceremony with his brand new girlfriend sitting in the front row, it is emotional terrorism.
It is so incredibly selfish. Pumpkin is sitting there saying, was Jesse on my side during the divorce? No. And now Jessica wants everyone to just swallow their trauma and be cool for her special day.
And we have to talk about Pumpkin's coping mechanism for this stress.
Iconic.
Wow.
Deeply tragic, but iconic. She shows up to the bachelorette party wielding a massive gallon-sized jug of creamy pina colada mixed with clear alcohol.
Ah, yes, the creamy shot.
It wasn't a shot, it was a literal tumbler. Someone tried to call it a little shot on the bus, and Pumpkin snapped back, that is not little. She is essentially drinking a heavy, dairy-based alcoholic beverage out of pure spite just to survive her family.
Which is a remarkably bold gastrointestinal choice. Mixing heavy dairy cream, cheap alcohol, familial resentment, and intense Florida humidity is a biological warning siren.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
But the creamy jug is just foreshadowing, because once they finally arrive at the Florida rental property, the power struggles immediately escalate.
Okay, so the entire cast arrives at this massive house that June paid for, and June immediately tries to assert her dominance by controlling the real estate. She assigns the bedrooms.
The ultimate matriarch power move.
She takes a nice master suite, Jessica gets a nice room, Pumpkin gets a nice room, and then she looks at Trina.
And she assigns Trina to the kids' room, with the twin bunk beds.
I gasped. The sheer insult of it. Putting a grown woman in a room with 5 toddlers on a bottom bunk bed, it is such a calculated power play to diminish Trina's status.
But I have to applaud Trina's response. It was a tactical masterclass in boundary setting. She doesn't yell, she doesn't throw a fit.
She was so calm about it.
She just calmly informs June that she actually booked her own private hotel room down the street for her and her kids. She completely refuses to sleep on a bunk bed. As Trina said, you have to stay one step ahead of the drama.
A beautiful defensive maneuver.
She established a sovereign embassy away from June's hostile territory.
A total checkmate. June thought she was going to humble Trina, and Trina was like, actually, babe, I have a Marriott reservation with a king bed. Enjoy the screaming rugrats. I was living for it.
But Trina wasn't done outsmarting June. Let's talk about the bachelorette party bus.
Oh, the party bus. Trina decides to take full executive control of the bachelorette party. So she rents a massive stereotypical party bus, complete with neon strobe lights, sticky vinyl seating, and a floor-to-ceiling stripper pole.
It is the absolute most chaotic setting imaginable. And then Trina presents June with a gift. The infamous t-shirt delusion.
Oh my gosh. Trina hands June a custom-made t-shirt that says Mother of the Bride on the front and features blown-up baby pictures of Jessica on the back.
And June's reaction is so deeply delusional. She puts this cheap shirt on, and suddenly she thinks she has been crowned Mom of the Century.
She truly thinks this Hanes cotton t-shirt officially absolves her of every terrible thing she has ever done to her children. Oh, I got a shirt. All is forgiven. Babes, cotton does not equal financial restitution.
It is a stunning display of narcissistic supply.
Yeah.
But Trina immediately leverages that delusion against June. She looks at her and says, well, if you're Mom of the Year, you need to get on the stripper pole.
The mess, the absolute unhinged mess of it all. I'm watching these moms full of creamy pina coladas, twerking and losing their absolute minds on this vibrating neon party bus.
And the poor bus driver.
In the background, you can just see the driver staring straight ahead at the road, completely dead-eyed, reevaluating every single life choice that led him to driving them around Panama City Beach.
It is funny on the surface, but it is actually catastrophic when you consider the medical context. June is being aggressively pressured to perform acrobatic feats on a stripper pole while she is technically recovering from a total hysterectomy.
Yes, and an undiagnosed autoimmune disease,
which her doctors strongly suspect could be rheumatoid arthritis or lupus.
She was literally just at the doctor's office crying about being in debilitating joint pain, and now she is spinning upside down on a metal pole. My anxiety was through the roof. I was yelling she's going to fracture her pelvis.
It is the pinnacle of reality TV cognitive dissonance. Severe health crises in the morning, grinding on a stripper pole at midnight. But of course, the episode ends with a classic TLC cliffhanger.
The knock. Okay, so it's the next day. They're all getting ready to take a chartered boat out on the water. The vibes are miraculously good. And then bam, a heavy, aggressive knock at the front door. Someone yells, "Who the hell is here?" and cut to black.
We need to theorize here. My analytical mind goes to 3 possibilities. Scenario 1. It is someone regarding the ongoing legal custody battle for Caitlin.
That would be so dark.
Scenario 2, it is Josh showing up early to the rental, perhaps with his new girlfriend Brianna, to intentionally cause friction.
Oh, if it's Josh, Pumpkin is going to physically throw hands. She already has the creamy pina colada rage building up. She will tackle him into the pool.
Or scenario 3, a producer intervention.
I cannot handle the suspense. Well, while we wait for the YouTube gods to bless us with the resolution to that cliffhanger, we have some very important Snark Squad business to attend to. It is time to transition into our segments. Segment 1, Reality TV Karma Rankings.
Yes. Based on our intro debate, we have to officially rank who currently has the best and worst karma in this cast right now.
I will start. The award for best karma undeniably goes to Alana.
Does it?
Ugh.
I have to push back on this. You are claiming that surviving a horrific car wreck where the inside column was bent is good karma. Surviving isn't a comic reward, it's just functional airbags.
Okay, yes, the crash itself is bad, but look at the aftermath. She somehow negotiated a free rental car out of the situation, and it forced her narcissistic mother to actually show up and play the role of a devoted mom for 24 hours. That is the universe protecting Honey Boo Boo.
I suppose if you view the accident as a necessary catalyst for maternal bonding, you could argue it's a net positive. Conversely, the award for worst karma firmly belongs to Jessica.
Oh, absolutely. She is in karmic debt.
Planning an entire wedding on the conceptual foundation of spiting your mother and deliberately alienating your sister is a recipe for terrible karma. Getting matching shark tattoos, changing the venue behind her back, inviting your sister's ex-husband to officiate.
It's all so toxic.
The karmic debt she is racking up is astronomical. Something is going to go horribly wrong at that beach ceremony.
The universe is going to send a literal Category 5 hurricane to that specific patch of Florida sand. Okay, moving on to segment 2, most delusional moment. We have to break down the wildest lack of self-awareness. We picked the top 3 moments.
Moment number 1, June. Receiving a custom t-shirt and deeply believing that it magically erases the fact that she allegedly stole her daughter's $30,000 college fund. You cannot wear forgiveness, June.
Delusion at its finest. It's like putting a Hello Kitty Band-Aid on a severed artery. Moment number 2, Jessica.
Yeah.
Genuinely believing that Pumpkin will just be cool with her ex-husband officiating the wedding.
The emotional blindness required to believe that is staggering.
And moment number 3, which takes us all the way back to the Reddit threads, Justin. Justin acting like a Zen master life coach while draped in gaudy sheen chains, purchased entirely with reality TV money.
The lack of self-awareness is built into his DNA.
The sheen chains strike again. Okay, segment 3. Would this survive group chat? We have to discuss which specific behaviors from this episode would immediately get roasted in our own friend group.
I think the focus here is obvious. Changing the venue of a wedding that someone else is actively paying for entirely behind their back.
Oh my gosh, if one of our friends tried to pull a Miss Edie Beach switch on someone else's dime, imagine if someone graciously paid for a mansion and you secretly moved it to the sand and sent them the upcharge bill.
The group chat would hold a legally binding tribunal. It would be a swift, permanent excommunication. You do not reallocate someone else's funds for your own aesthetic beach vibe without a highly detailed PowerPoint presentation. We would take them to small claims court.
We would roast them into the witness protection program. Finally, segment 4, the Southern Chaos Index. We are ranking the episode's messiest moments on a sliding scale from manageable to catastrophic.
Let's start at manageable. Getting matching shark tattoos to passive-aggressively claim a new family and exclude your mother. It's petty. The font choice is highly questionable, but ultimately it's manageable.
Right. Just a little localized drama. But then we rapidly escalate to the warning level. Pumpkin drinking creamy pina colada from a literal gallon jug out of pure spite. Babes, dairy, and cheap alcohol in 90-degree Florida humidity.
That is an explosive stomachache waiting to absolutely ruin a rehearsal dinner.
And finally, catastrophic. June getting aggressively pressured to perform acrobatic seats on a party bus stripper pole while technically recovering from a total hysterectomy and an undiagnosed autoimmune disease.
The structural integrity of her internal organs was at severe risk. It was a massive medical catastrophe waiting to happen on sticky vinyl seating.
Catastrophic. I was literally watching through my fingers, waiting for an ambulance to be called. Babes, this episode was an absolute marathon of dysfunction, and we survived it together.
We truly did. We want to express immense love for the listeners hanging out with us today and diving into this psychological mess. Thank you to the Snark Squad for making this community so incredibly hilarious.
Yes, we love you, babes. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And please, remember our golden rule? Send your own messy, chaotic stories into the DMs. We want to hear the drama from your own group chats.
And we have some specific audience questions for you to engage with in the comments this week. First, based on our intro debate, do you actually believe in karma? Let us know your theories. Second, what was your weirdest, most chaotic past job? We shared our tech bro and mall bartender trauma. Now we absolutely need to hear yours.
And most importantly, what weird, unhinged drink combo should we put in the Ninja Slush next week? Give us your best amateur cocktail chemist recipes. I want something wild but surprisingly delicious.
We will test the most chaotic suggestion live on mic.
Yes, we will. All right, babes, that is all for today. You know the drill. Stay messy, stay chaotic, and we will see you on the Snark side.